morning, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us for Racine and Me. I'm Jessica Ty. If you're looking for fresh food, a chance to chat, and an opportunity to get outside, you have to check out the Racine Farmers Markets. They're now open for the spring-summer season. Welcome back, everyone. When you walk up to a farmer's market, you typically see the beautiful colors of all the fresh fruits and veggies, and you can often smell the rich aroma of the fresh bread. Sounds good, doesn't it? And it looks good too, because we have Lizz Fable, one of the bread makers, one of the local bread makers that you'll find at the Racine Farmers Market with us. Thanks so much for coming on.
Well, thank you, Jessica.
And
I'm
for
so
bringing
pleased to be here.
Wonderful. I am interested in your personal story because here you have the chef's coat on as well. Tell me a little bit about yourself and how you got to the point of making bread for the farmers markets.
Well, I have always had a passion for bread baking and cooking, and I became a personal chef just as a hobby in 1996. Which was when no one knew what that was at all.
Personal chef?
Right.
Sounds fancy, right?
Your dinner, bring it to your house, or cook in your kitchen. Of course, that's become much more popular now, so people understand what that is, which is great. But I do love to bake bread, really best of all. And when I had a little bit of a downsize experience at my job, I thought maybe I can make that into more of a profession rather than a hobby. So I took a class at the French Pastry School in Chicago, which is a fabulous place. And let me tell you, that was like bread boot camp. You don't rest, you don't eat, you don't stop, you just drink water and make bread. So that was a wonderful experience, and it taught me a lot about how to make bread. The man that taught it was from France. They flew him in, he taught the class, and he flew back out. So that was just really an extraordinary experience, and it really underscored my desire to make it a profession. And I was later lucky enough to find a commercial space that I could work out of, and so then could offer my bread with proper licensing, and here I am today. Well,
and that's nice to know too, because it's not just someone throwing bread together.
Oh, exactly.
I mean, you really have the education behind it.
Absolutely, and when you're making 150 loaves of bread all at once, you got to be right on it. You got to know exactly where each batch is and when it's ready to go into the oven and come out, and at the proper height for rising, all that kind of stuff. So
it's interesting that you say that, because that's one of the things I was curious about. How long does it take you to create all the bread, and how many loaves of bread are you making for, say, a Saturday morning at the Racine Farmers Market?
It's well, it takes about 8 to 12 hours, depending on how many batches I make. And each batch takes about 3 to 4 hours from mixing to coming out of the oven. So it's a double rise process, but we start with an overnight batter. So it actually starts the day before.
Okay.
And then we mix the fresh batter into the bread and rise it once, shape it, rise it again, and bake it.
Wonderful. Do you have any help?
My husband helps me in the summer because that's when my peak season is. So during the winter I sell on farmers markets indoors, and it's a lot smaller quantity, so I can do it all by myself.
How much do you sell this bread for, and how would you compare it to, say, if I were to go into one of the Racine grocery stores and go to the bakery there?
It's, well, the large loaves are about £1.50 pounds. They are $5. The small ones are about £1, and they're $3. And it's slightly more expensive, I will say, than your bakery, commercial bakery type bread. But of course it is, each loaf is made one at a time by hand by the person that sells it to you, and that's me. So people appreciate that.
Yeah, exactly. I was just thinking that too, because sometimes people go and they think it's cheaper at the farmer's market. In some cases, depending on what you're buying, it is. But in other cases, I like the fact that you admit it is going to be a little bit more expensive. But here's why. And do you find that people do enjoy coming to buy from you?
They absolutely do. In fact, the best part of the market for me is the social aspect. People love to come and talk to me about baking and cooking, and that is just my favorite subject. I mean, I could just go on forever about that. So, so I really have an enjoyable time speaking to people about how to bake bread, and they tell me their bread baking problems. They're 911. It's like, I can't get this to work. What did I do wrong? And I love teaching. I'm a cooking teacher also, so that's part of the whole enjoyment.
What are those typical 911 problems?
Typical 911 problems are that people are in a rush.
Yeah.
Bread you have to pay attention to exactly what it looks like at every stage, and sometimes it takes longer, sometimes it takes shorter. And I'll tell you, the bread knows what's going on outside the window. If it's warmer or cooler, spring or summer or fall or winter, it will rise slower or faster depending on the weather.
So what types of breads do you bring to the farmer's market for sale?
Well, I make one kind because I do most of the baking all by myself. And I do make that 150 loaves, so that's
a lot.
That's a lot. So I make a whole wheat flaxseed bread that has whole and ground flaxseed in it. So it's got some extra fiber, which people like. And I also make these little, if you can see right in the front of the display here, there's a little bread pudding that is made from the leftover bread, and it's cubes of toasted bread that we toast and mix a little egg and milk to hold it together. And then usually a bread pudding is a dessert, but I make it a savory version for breakfast or lunch. And this particular one has roasted vegetables, spinach and onion and garlic, and a little bit of cream cheese in the center, and then the melted cheddar cheese on top. So we do it in different flavors depending on what's kind of looks good at the market. Roasted red pepper, spinach, zucchini, mushroom, all kinds of good flavors.
Yum.
So then those make a nice little breakfast snack for people coming to the market.
That sounds so good. I get the shivers when you're saying that. I'm a foodie, so
Oh
it
well,
just sounds
I'm
yummy.
glad to hear that.
So where can people find you? Are you at all of the Racine Farmers
I'm
Markets?
at all of the outdoor Saturday markets, the downtown Saturday market, I should say. Because again, it takes about 8 to 12 hours. I bake one whole day and then sell the next day, so it's still nice and fresh. And but I do have access to my commercial kitchen just the one day, so I'm there every Saturday.
Wonderful. All right, every Saturday, downtown
So
Racine.
come on by.
Thanks so much for coming
Well,
in. I
thank you.
appreciate it and for bringing this as well. Up next, we are bringing in the bees.